People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. First thing that is popping in the news. We see that these criminals that are doing the most serious crimes in Jamaica, whenever they go to courts, if it's even the takeaway of somebody's life, they still manage to get bail. How is it that a country that has so many crimes, 1,600 people are lose their life on an annual basis, how is it that these people manage to get bail? Do you ever ask that question? Does that ever cross your mind? And it is because the court system, the judge, the DA, prosecutors, they are woefully inept, meaning that they are not rational, meaning that it seems as if the body club, meaning that the defense lawyers for these criminals have these system people in them pockets. Now people, the other day, the assistant commissioner of Popo, his name is Fitz Bailey. He made a statement. He made several statements. However, one of those statements that he made kinda resonate with me because him say the Bail Act, it needs to be revisited. It needs to be changed. It needs to be pretty much scrap and start all over from square one because it is very, very bad.
Put it this way, a person in my view who is charged with murder, as he was charged with, and once that person gets out on bail, it is reasonable to infer that if you're a criminal, if you're a gangster, you're going to continue to engage in gang activities. So, whilst we understand the constitutional right of people being granted bail, it's a right, I think it's something that we need to look at. We have had so many incidents of people who are on bail and continue to perpetrate criminal activities.
Now people, we see what has been going on in Jamaica. One latest example, Mr. Odin Christopher, that was caught on the highway. Him and him Kumbolo got taken out after some sort of shootout with the Popo. They found an Introtech machine gun and also a pistol. That man was out on condition of bail after he was arrested and charged for the takeaway of somebody. Now people, that is just the latest case. We've heard many cases over the past year or two in which most of the persons that we see in any sort of pie out with the Popo, these persons have a very extensive criminal background. These persons are presently, or were, because them gone now, in the court. Now people, there was an incident the other day in which a character, his name is Shabdan. Shabdan is a producer. Shabdan is said to be a producer of crime. We've heard many stories on Shabdan. Many accusations, many allegations. This person's accusation and what he's said to be is nothing short of him being a SERIALKILLER. Every time them hold him, them let him go. Them hold him, them let him go. Them hold him maybe about a year ago. Him and the next man in a car with a toll. The person take the charge, plead out. That person took 6 years. People that say a Shabdan toll, but the man freed him. We've heard all the stories. Everything. Everybody hear it. Everybody know about it. So the question that I want to ask is this. Wasn't Shabdan also out on condition of bail? Wasn't it our court system, meaning the prosecutor and the judge, that had some sort of session, some sort of debate, and they came to a decision even after all of these allegations and accusations that this man qualified for bail, this man was out on condition of bail. Now people, when you're out on condition of bail, you have to give a fixed address. A fixed address meaning that it cannot be any sort of PO box in which you can just get mail. It has to be a brick and mortar, meaning a house, a place of residence. On that condition of bail, you are not supposed to be out at certain times unless, of course, it is work-related. You are not supposed to be mixed up and entangled in any sorts of criminal dirty bungle. You can lose that privilege just by that. So therefore, in the latest incidents, when they went for Shabdan, there was no sorts of pie out. They knew who they were going for. They knew exactly where he was. As a matter of fact, them have him phone number, and maybe on the condition of bail, him supposed to answer the number when certain number call him. So therefore, if them call him and say, listen, which part you there? Me there down the road. Meet us at your fixed address that is on the court document, because we need to ask you a couple of questions. Because we hear say one little incident occurred in a Rose Heights and 3 little people, beat criminals, lose them life. We are here say, you hear the operative word, we are here say, are you do it. Hearsay don't work in court. Hearsay is not evidence. Hearsay is not an exhibit. Disclaimer once again. I am not here in defense of Shabdan, as many persons would like you to believe. I am here to make sense out of nonsense and stop make people fool on. As a matter of fact, I realize that whenever I speak about certain topics, which is my job to give my views, I am not in collusion with any other blogger. I am not in any group or crew of any blogger, none at all. So therefore, my job is to give my opinion, to be opinionative. So I say this to say that a lot of you persons should not even have the privilege to go in anybody's comment section and make any sorts of remark, because you have willingly decided that, listen, I can no longer think for myself. I don't have any spine, any backbone to listen and analyze, take sense out of nonsense. The only thing that I can do is to be a puppet on a string and listen to certain characters, and whatever them tell me just swallow it like a big frisbee pill. So therefore, don't come in my comment section. You have lost the privilege. You are no longer any sorts of man or any sorts of rational thinking person. So therefore, leave that right there. So. Disclaimer, like me say, Shabdan name and call up on a whole lot of stuff. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Now people, we hear all sort of thing. We hear say the Popo go for Shabdan because Shabdan was planning a hasty retreat. Is there evidence to prove that? Does MOCA, MID, Major Investigative Division, Anti-Gang Task Force have any sorts of evidence to substantiate those sorts of claims? Did they catch Shabdan at the airport with some sorts of false documentation? Somebody else name, somebody else character and film picture trying to leave. Was Shabdan caught on any sorts of boat going from St. Elizabeth, going from Clarendon, going from any sorts of coastal place in Jamaica? Did they catch Shabdan with a large cache of cash for say him a leave, him a make a hasty retreat? Or did they call Shabdan and Shabdan met them at his place of residence, his fixed address that he has on the court documentation? I would like to see those. And if that don't exist, that means it is all a whole big bad story. Nothing goes like that. However, it sounds good. It is for entertainment purposes. Now, people, I am going to address a situation as it pertains to Shabdan, as it pertains to the whole thing in a Jamaica. If them can't catch Quaco, them catch him shot. However, it seems as if these concerned citizens of Jamaica that has lost the ability to think for themselves, analyze situation for themselves, they want you to believe that, all right, yes, he is a criminal. Yes, if he's guilty, this is my disclaimer now. If he is guilty for all of the crimes and takeaway that people says he is guilty of, I want that to be solved in the courts. I would expect that our system of justice would be competent, meaning the popo, meaning investigator, meaning just about any and everybody that is involved. Once somebody put out any sorts of crime or takes away anybody's life unjustly, unless of course it is self-defense, I would expect them to face the rest of their natural life in the big yard. However, here's it with a lot of you non-thinking for yourself, puppet on a string people that like to come in my comment section. What about Shabdan's mother? What about Shabdan's father, who happens to be a popular artist, Linval Thompson Sr.? When you do this, and you put out the man thing, cool, we want to see him get locked up for whatever he has done that is wrong. But what about his mother that have nothing to do with nothing? What about his father that pretty much probably grew him just as good as most of us legal, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens? Don't they deserve the right to live? Or they should lose their life so that bloggers can make a point, bloggers can gain financially from these stories? The next thing is that I am surprised at the JCF, and like me say, I don't know what type of smoking guns they have, because we've seen that a lot of times these smoking guns have become nothing more than a firecracker. It just goes out with a little whimper. That's all we hear. After all, them hype you up, them build up your high, and then them box out the spliff out of your mouth, because we were expecting, we had high expectations. However, history shows us that they are not as competent. They don't have what is required to carry out a case from start to finish. And a lot of these high profile gang cases proves that they are not. So I just say, I'm surprised if they don't have evidence that they are actually listening to storytellers, because truth and the fact is that that is all it is. If it is not evidence, if it is not exhibit, then it's just hearsay. It is, maybe it is true. However, it cannot stand up in any sorts of court other than the court of public opinion. And obviously, the court of opinion is way, way, way against Shabdan. They're on the opposite side. And rightfully so. If so much things are called upon somebody's name, he has to be guilty of something. Maybe not all, but maybe a significant part. He should know, and the people that are associated with him should know. Now, people, here's the thing. There's a saying Game recognize game. These gangsters and the cops, they do not mix like two DICKS and no sorts of chicks. I am going to explain for you guys that are not so street smart. What it means is that gangsters don't usually give any sorts of information to Popo. People that prove that them are Popo, act like Popo, act like soldier. It is hard for somebody like that to really call them and give them any sorts of information. So therefore, the information that they get is usually third party. It means absolutely nothing. So I say this to say that it is obvious that even with all that is being said about Shabdan, him and this one a war, Bossed, bad breed, 6, G6, G-man, whoever you want to call it. Obviously, they've decided that, listen, we're going to take stuff in our own hands. We're not going to rely on the Popo. We're not going to rely on the system of justice in Jamaica. We want to do it ourselves. We take it personal. So again, I ask you, how is it that now we are here say, gangster a tell police information, gangster see Shabdan pan apps? How is it that now we are here say, the man we move so careful, so smart, like a Teflon Don, a gangster, him a go out pan apps, when him did young, when him just a starting the business, him a shot caller, him a give out order. Remember, that is his motive, M.O. That is the picture that was painted. So how is it that now, when he's as hot as he can be, when him know say, him depend tread line or thin line, for him bail, if he move and make any sort of mistake, he is going to lose that privilege of being out like a regular person. How is it that now this same man where we hear say, so cautious, so slick, so sly, the smartest thing in a criminality that knows how to beat and buck the system, now him a jump in a car with other people, with big long gun, and I go pipe up party. People, me nah say, him nah have nothing to do with it. Me just a say, how that becomes rational thinking now. And for you, non-thinking people that have no sorts of brain, no sorts of intestinal fortitude, basically on a nip and tuck on a BALLS. How is it that now that comes rational argument, people? I'm a joker. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.